Hey friends, this is Jeff Morgan in the Guilt-Free Kitchen, and why do I call this the Guilt-Free Kitchen? Because I make food here that benefits the body. I have come to understand that not everybody can just go vegan. I get regular headaches, I have some skin issues here. I'll probably show some pictures of what my skin has been doing lately. It's been horrible. I've been inflamed, leaky gut, I don't know.
I'm just detoxing a lot right now still after 1 month. I'm kind of sick of my hair falling out and having acne all the time. You know, it's gonna be worth it in the end.
This is Austin from Raw Bliss, and I'm gonna show you guys how to open a coconut. Look at that. Look, I'm so skinny. Please don't worry, I'm eating a lot of food these days. I've got access to avocados and coconut meat now and eating them in abundance. Start my day off at the park grounds here. Open another.
And I just felt it like right after I ate it. Goes straight to my brain. It's brain food, it really is.
So creamy, so buttery.
I have a chronic disease. I have Crohn's disease, and I have IBS, and I have celiac disease. I have had bad, severe stomach pain when I eat, debilitating stomach pain since I was 15, 16 years old, and it's just progressed and gotten worse over the years. I struggle with wanting to show people that you can be healthy on a vegan diet, which I think I do show properly with my children and my husband. Really, really bad bloating. My stomach will become distended and it'll be really, really hurt, and it'll be hurting for hours. And when I mean my stomach is hurting, I don't mean like a stomach ache. I mean the sort of hurting where you get stabbing pain. I get mouth ulcers in my mouth, so I get these big, gross ulcers in my mouth, almost like cold sores, and I get a lot of them. I take my zinc because I am deficient in zinc. I take B complex and B12 and B6 and folate and things like that, which are all in this vitamin, because I am deficient in all those vitamins. And I am also anemic, and I also get B12 injections. I've done so many tests in the last year just trying to figure out what exactly is the problem. It's really hard.
Turns out that I'm deficient in B12. First time was horrible, second time was okay, third time I passed out. And this is the needle. Here you go, so much fun. I've decided after that, after I did all the 10 shots, I'm gonna take the pills. For me, I guess it's to do with the fact that I'm vegan.
And I'm also taking my B12 supplements. I take one of these each day, and yeah, I find it's really important to supplement B12 on a vegan diet. As always, having my hot water bottle. I do like a few of them every day. Just helps so much to stay warm.
Hey guys, I'm gonna show you how to give yourself a B12 shot today. Now I'm gonna stab myself in the leg, just like this. Look, Mom, no hands. For all the guys watching, lentils, very high in protein. So if you want like a high protein food, lentils, beans.
What we think that it is and what he thinks that it is that I just have low testosterone and that I haven't been producing any swimmers. And that could be for a number of reasons. Some of the symptoms are obviously like low libido. Another symptom would be just kind of like not having a lot of energy or kind of feeling depressed, which is something that I've kind of gone through most of my adult life.
Works really fun. Works the shoulders like nobody. Pretty cool fun way to get a little exercise in. You know, just walk around, pull her around and try to swing her a little bit, and she loves it, obviously.
I love almond milk, soy milk. Eating raw potatoes are so good for you. Like, it reminds me of my childhood with my mom, like eating raw potatoes. I have found out that drinking celery juice is actually really extra healthy for you.
We started the day off with 24 ounces each of celery juice. If you don't know about the benefits of celery juice, check out Medical Medium. There's endless benefits, and we can't imagine life without our celery juice.
Our food, it's what keeps us alive, it's what raises our vibration, and really helps make us who we are today so that we can help others.
Hi, it's Paul from Hench Herbivore. Today we're going to be looking at wrist strengthening for martial arts.
When you want to bulk, it's a great way to get your calories in.
And you were on steroids at the time, yeah?
Yeah.
So like...
At one point I was on like 30 times the amount of testosterone that should naturally be produced.
How do I get protein in without it being soy? This is made completely from pea protein, so there's actually no soy in it at all.
I ate over a pound of soy every day for 30 days.
You know, like I'm always terrified that my boyfriend Brian is gonna leave me or just not like me. I literally ask him 100 times a day whether or not he loves me. I was diagnosed with the schizophrenic tendencies last year, and that's because I've been having auditory hallucinations and paranoia. I hear voices all the time. I had been about 6 months self-harm free, and then I unfortunately had a relapse.
My health is not great right now. I don't feel very good. I don't really know why. One broccoli. Some of it might have to do with my ulcerative colitis, and some of it might have to do with my mental health in general, and some of it might have to do with something completely different. Tofu, 250 grams. This is not how you should feel. This is not how you should go through life. This is not normal. Garlic. I also want to check my thyroid for onions, like an overproduction, which perfectly fits all of my symptoms.
Good quality, simple fruits have the minerals and the nutrients and the nutritional components that are necessary for life. Fruit is the only structure in nature biologically that is meant for food. In order to have health, body, health, and sound mind.
Going vegan back in 2013 was one of the best life decisions I've made. Vegans on average are about 20 pounds slimmer. So if you're looking to, you know, slim up this year, maybe your New Year's resolution, also still have all the energy you need, unlike those fad diets that can leave you feeling like totally like void of energy. But yeah, this being vegan lets you keep all your energy.
What actually happened to you after being on a raw vegan diet for 16 years?
Okay, so I had a stroke. It also showed previous infarcts or death of brain tissue, and I was just shocked, and caused me to really reevaluate my health program and what I've been doing since 1999 and even earlier.
It's 4:30. The first 6 months I went vegan, I ended up gaining like 20 pounds. So I've been having a headache every day for like 5-6 months. I know it like started when I started drinking the heavy metal detox smoothie. You'd think, okay, you have headaches every day and they start to get better, but no, like the pain just gets worse. But having your head hurt all the time, like never feels better ever, it's making me go nuts. Why am I always in pain? Everything hurts all the time, like life hurts. Patch here. The cleaner I've gotten my diet, the worse the headaches have been. My whole head feels like it's being squeezed all the time. I feel so crazy. Like, what do I do? Is it just because I'm detoxing too hard?
North America's largest chicken slaughterhouse, and you guys just helped stop the first truck ever outside of Maple Lodge Farms, one of the largest corporations for murdering chickens. Those people on that truck, they were seen today. Thousands and thousands of birds go in here. And we have been here for 3 years and we have not been able to stop a truck. Knowing that what they were seen today, like that's all that matters is them. It's not about us, and we need to remember that it's not about us. We are not the heroes.
Hey, do you like my new carrots and hummus sweater? Carrots and hummus, they go together like me and my carrots and hummus sweater. Carrots and hummus, they go together. Eating them while wearing it, nothing could be better. Jump, jump, freeze, jump, jump, freeze. Ooh. A vegan world, let's imagine in a vegan world. Let's create in a vegan world. Let's transform all the skeptics. A vegan world. Yeah! everybody, for the animals, for your health, for the planet.
Any health problem, when you come back to a natural way of eating, your body heals itself. I have 8 years experience of not eating any animal products at all, and I've remained very fit and healthy and active throughout that 8 years with no nutritional deficiencies.
I have ongoing health problems. For those of you that don't know, I suffer with inflammatory arthritis. I'm still going through lots of medication, and it's my major joints like my back and my hips, which will then render me like in a wheelchair, unable to walk like very, very soon. And I'm in my 30s. I'm not ready for that yet. I'm not ready to give up the fight.
20 days ago, I got sick, and I've been sick ever since.
I have been taking wheatgrass for about 5 years. You know, because I had brown hair, and so I still have the brown hair. And yeah, so.
Ausatmen, einführen, dann drehst du den Hebel auf und dann kann das Wasser mit dem Weizengras schon beginnen, in dich hineinzufließen. Atmen, vielleicht magst du Musik dabei hören, vielleicht magst du ein Buch dabei lesen.
I'm going to share with you a song that I made up called Titties to the Rescue. If your baby is tired, sick, or feeling bad, titties to the rescue, titties to the rescue. If your baby falls and hits his little head, titties to the rescue, titties to the rescue. Nice to meet you, can I kiss you? I could show you hidden things, pain, sadness, hate, crime, saw your food, oh my brain, look at that meat, it looks like your next heart attack. I know you hate me, but hey, let's be friends. I can make meat eaters angry in a second. They will tell you I'm insane, cause you know I hate the meat and you hate to change.
You don't want to hurt yourself, do you? Oh, you don't want to hurt anybody else? You don't want to commit suicide or anything like that, right? Okay.
They only want meat, egg, milk, escape, even if it's torture, murder. Don't say I didn't say I didn't warn ya.
Authorities identifying the shooter as 39-year-old San Diego resident Nasim Agdam.
I just got back from the organic market in Chiang Mai.
Whenever I'm around like normal eating people, the mood, the vibe is generally lower. Definitely eat some more bananas if you're depressed or don't feel as happy as you should be. Hi, do you feel mosquitoes?
Keep myself looking young and youthful, which I know is really important to a lot of you guys, and it's something that, you know, our outer physical reflection is merely a reflection of our inner health.
What we gain by eating animals and animal products is an increased risk of death from our top killers, and we gain a higher and higher body count of innocent, defenseless living beings while we lose our health and our well-being.
I'm talking about the slaughter, death, and starvation of 6 billion people this century.
Tomorrow is the global climate strike. Our Earth is in crisis, and we, if she perils, we peril.
I say, would you like to buy any oranges or grapefruit? It's for animal cruelty and climate change.
People are suffering. People are dying. Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction.
We need to stop the sale of meat and dairy and stuff and kind of more encourage people to adopt a plant-based diet.
This is a motherfucking snack. There's 9 or 10 bananas in here. I got promoted to produce manager. If I can open the thing. Oh, it's already open. We're gonna put some sugar in it because brain runs on sugar, body runs on sugar. Add some more sugar. I'm 6'5". Want to see how much I weigh?
Credentials-wise, I have a Bachelor's of Science in Biology and a Master's of Science in Human Nutrition. What you're supposed to be eating, lots of fruits and vegetables, and you naturally meet all your nutrient requirements. And I'm gonna add some sugar.
Shout out to Ex-Vegan Mama 3 for re-uploading that on our channel.
Hey everybody, what is up? It's Chris with another video. Normally I'm doing the...
That's hilarious, they played vegan videos after that. Yeah, shout out to Ex-Vegan Mama 3 for re-uploading that. That was really cool to do. That was for anybody that missed that masterpiece, that banned masterpiece by YouTube. So I figured I'll just start out the stream with that. How's everybody doing? I got some good snacks for dinner today. I got some duck eggs, some raw butter. I got some over 2 weeks old aged beef in my fridge. This stuff is like super, it's got like a white, almost like a fungus all over it. And then I got some raw beef testicle as well. If you guys have ever seen that, this stuff looks pretty interesting. It's like yellow on the inside. Kind of barely see it, but this stuff is really good. So yeah, I mean, watching those videos is a little bit disturbing. Obviously, if you have any kind of conscience or whatever, and you know you're watching other human beings suffer, but sometimes you got to learn what not to do to learn what to do. You know what I'm saying? So let's, you know, nobody wants to go through that kind of suffering, and it's hard to see the changes in people like that when you're just looking at them in real life because it's so subtle and it's so slow. But when you have a video camera, when you have photographs, you can kind of see the changes over time, and it's like really shocking. What's going on, everybody? Good to see everybody. Hope everybody's having a good Valentine's Day. Not that I really celebrate it, but you know, it's just funny to wish everybody a Valentine's Day. So yeah, this beef testicle, I've had this one time before, and this stuff 100% boosts your libido, we should say. 100%. Way more than oysters. I know, it's funny, they throw you vegan videos after you're watching an anti-vegan video. Yeah, let's see if they ban my stream. This is a little test. It's interesting how they ban it from Gotchas' channel, but they didn't ban it from Ex-Vegan Mama 3's channel. So either they don't know about it yet, and they're not aware that it's being uploaded again, or they just take it off the main channel and they don't want to take it off all the other channels to create more rebellion, I guess you should say. Because I think they know what happens when they ban certain videos. Everybody starts uploading it to their channel. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's some strategy going on there with YouTube. It's very tricky, very manipulating. But let's see if they get my channel for uploading it. So yeah, this is I've had duck eggs like one time before that I can remember. It's been a long time, so this is gonna be cool. Let's see what these guys taste like. Definitely a little bit bigger. Let's see what the flavor's like. Way thicker too. Very tasty. These are from Miller's Farm too. Growing Pains says YouTube is on the verge of collapsing, I feel like. YouTube has taken a significant financial loss, I believe every single year that they've been in business, guys. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. YouTube is a losing platform, and they're being propped up by Google essentially, because Google is what owns YouTube. So if you understand how business works on any kind of large scale like that, basically, if you start a business out, you're going to take a loss at the beginning. But if you're Google and you have basically you're printing money, essentially, you can just take that money and throw it into your losing business until basically they have like a monopoly on all the videos on the internet, essentially, is what they're trying to do. So they're losing. They're a losing platform for some reason. It's not a financially gaining platform. As you can see, they just, the infrastructure needed to design live streaming and stuff like that is ridiculous. If you follow Owen Benjamin or Vox Day, they'll tell you that the infrastructure to live stream is nuts, especially if you want there's only 42 people on here. You can get thousands and thousands of people on a live stream, right? And then do it for 3 hours at a time. You got to have the server space for that. It's pretty ridiculous that they just allow some random guy like me to use their platform to live stream from, you know what I'm saying? But that's how much money they have, and that's what they're willing to do at the beginning of this company in order to basically promote it. So they're just promoting the hell out of themselves for years and years and years and years and years, even though they're taking a loss, hoping that in the end they will just have a total monopoly on the video business. So, and it seems like it's working, honestly. What's up, P. Miller? Andres says, do you drink 1.5 gallons a day? No, I am down to, because I've been skipping my milkshakes in the morning, so I just eat like a dairy lunch, 4 eggs, big old chunk of cheese, and half a quart of milk for lunch. And then this is like my gigantic dinner. So, and I stopped lifting weights and running and all that stupid shit because I wanted to just kind of see what my body does with just food and just normal kind of walking around during the day and like light lifting and stuff, like something that a normal natural human being would do. So, and I'm feeling pretty good. So I have no desire to lift weights. I have no desire to like go running or anything like that. My stress levels are like really good. You know, they're really low. But I do some decent lifting at work. Like I lift some pretty giant like door frames and stuff like that. Metal doors, like huge metal doors. So it's actually pretty moderate to heavy lifting, but it's only for brief moments. So it's not like getting down on getting down on the weight bench and doing like 5,000 reps or whatever like that. That's funny. I'm not even gonna acknowledge that, dude. Collapse Aesthetics. Did you check the color of the white in those eggs? No, I did not. They look almost like, I think it's the shell, but it looks almost like see-through. Gamma alert, yeah. Gamma alerts, everybody. I don't even get engaged with gammas anymore. It's not worth it, man. Bobby Sweeney, stuff like this gets banned, yet what? TYT gets financially backed by YouTube, Google to start teaching journalism their way. Exactly. Eat Raw Meat is doing some crazy milk experiments right now. Still waiting to hear on it. Growing Pains, do you exclusively eat raw at the moment? Yes, I do. Yes, exclusively. It was hard for me to get raw cheese, unsalted, so I ate pasteurized. So I ate pasteurized cheese for like a big part of this diet, like good chunk of it. So you could say I technically wasn't 100% raw. Aajonus Archive says, Weston, time to read a cool theory. Let's see if I can get to that. Let's see if I can get to that. I'm not sure how to get to that without it kicking me off here, because my browser's trying to kick me off of YouTube if I do that. Maybe you can you just type the theory out or copy and paste it, Aajonus Archive? Because it's trying to get me to leave YouTube, and I'm afraid it's going to kick me off the stream. Daniel Mijatovic, beard looks good on you. Thanks, brother. Appreciate that. Yeah, I figure I'll go a little bit thicker. Let's see how barbarian I can get. Double K, my body needs to sweat and work out at least 3 times a week. Nothing crazy. Usually body work or jiu-jitsu, boxing, jiu-jitsu. Yeah, I know some people like that, and I was like that at the beginning of my diet too. But I'm just so relaxed and chilled out now on this diet. It's like I have almost perfect peace, man. I wouldn't say perfect quite yet, but I'm getting close to perfect peace. And I used to do those workouts to do as a big stress reliever or whatever, but I just don't desire it anymore. It's interesting. Jaeger 2011 says, don't ban the gammas. I'm curious as to what a gamma says. No, the thing is, man, is once you know how gammas operate and you know how they function, you don't want them in your organization. This is like a group. This is like a tribe, an organization that we're getting together here. You know what I mean? And what gammas do is they infiltrate your organization, and then when things don't start going their way, they start sabotaging the entire operation. So once you just start seeing that kind of behavior in somebody, I just ban them right away. Because I'm probably not like other YouTubers in that I don't give a shit about numbers. You know what I mean? I don't care if there's 15 people here. I don't care if there's 1,500 people here. I really don't give a shit. It's of no concern to me. It's basically just me having a meal with my friends, and there's some regular people that show up here, as you can see, like with my moderators and stuff, that they support me, they have my back, and that's really all I need, man. You know what I mean? If you guys have ever heard of Dunbar's number, it's a limit of people that you can possibly have friendships with. It's like 160 people. So it's like, if my stream gets over 160 people at a time, there's no way I'm going to be able to be friends with all those people. You know what I mean? And I'm not here to preach to people, and I'm not here to become the most popular person on YouTube. I'm just here to hang out with friends, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, basically gammas will stab you in the back, dude. They will totally stab you in the back, you know? And I'm not even going to get into the whole situation with the most recent gamma ban, because he's just not even worth my time, man. And I'm not saying that just to be a dick. It's just the truth. I have way bigger fish to fry than that guy. Jar says, I buy raw unsalted cheese from Grassland Beef. Oh, they have unsalted, huh? Grassland Beef. Let's peep it out here. Grasslandbeef.com. Maybe I can get away with not getting cracked with a $50 shipping, because Miller's shipping it's getting a little annoying. Because I just ordered 10 pounds of cheese, some ice cream from Miller's, natural ice cream, and then some duck eggs, and it was $50. $50 shipping. I'm just going to check this website out real quick. Let's see if they got cheese here. It's having a hard time loading up, but I'll check into that, man. Yeah, the Testicle is good. I got this from White Oak Pastures. So you got to get on it, because a lot of times they run out too. What, Testicle is really good, man. Someone asked, what is a gamma? I'll show you.
Welcome to Vox.
All right. lot of people have seen this already, but if you want to know what a gamma male is, there you go. Double K, damn, real good stuff. Are you freezing them? They actually came frozen, extremely frozen, like so frozen it was like dry ice packs, like burnt my hands. So yeah, I just threw them in the freezer. Double K says, sweet, how'd you like the farm? I actually ordered them. White Oak Pastures is online. WT says freezing is as bad as cooking. Not as bad, but it's almost as bad, for sure. I try not to freeze any of my food. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. I had a long discussion with my my grass-fed beef farmer, because I told him that I was essentially getting better energy off of grass-fed, grain-finished, fresh over grass-fed frozen. And I was under the impression that it was the freezing that was giving me the worst energy on the grass-fed beef. But my grass-fed beef farmer told me this. He told me that it's probably the omega-6s that I'm getting from the grain-finished beef that's giving me a superior energy. But I also think it's the freshness too. There's a couple factors in there. But we went into a very, very long discussion. This guy was like very intelligent and very, very well articulated. He could almost write a damn book. He could write so well. And he was explaining to me just how in like a natural setting, we most likely would have eaten frozen food for periods of times during the year. So we can't be all, I mean, I don't know how to, like, so black and white about all this shit. You know what I mean? We can't be just like, you have to eat all fresh grass-fed beef or you're doing it wrong. And you have to eat all raw. You know what I mean? It's like, we obviously know what is superior and what's inferior, but everybody's different. Everybody's got different income. Everybody is in different locations of the world. And realistically, human beings were in the same position that we're in now. Not everybody had ideal living situations. So you got to be able to adapt to frozen food. You got to be able to adapt to cooked food every once in a while. Let's say you're in like a social setting and you don't want to look like a total retard. Eat a cooked steak, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. But I only do that maybe every few months at the most. Evil Clown, is chocolate milk okay from Miller's or fruit ice cream? I'm not 100% sure on the chocolate milk. I haven't looked into cacao yet. I don't know how bad the cacao powder is. So I would probably stay away from chocolate milk until you research that. But the ice cream, hell yeah, ice cream is perfectly fine. It's milk, cream, honey, salt, and like whatever you put, like strawberries or whatever you put in there. It's like completely natural stuff. Javier Vargas says, do you have a butcher shop near you, Weston? I'd get as much as I could from there if it looks quality enough. Yeah, I do. But we have I'm in like beef country, right in the middle of beef country here. And so you can just go to the grocery store and get some like really good frickin' beef. So you don't necessarily have to go to the butcher to get quality beef here, man. I just go to Hy-Vee and they have like some really good Angus beef cuts. Brandon White says, one man, two balls. Eat raw meats, gonna lay down, listen to the stream. Good night and have fun, guys. All right, man. Thanks for showing up. Sorry I can't do them earlier, man. It sucks. Time difference sucks. But we'll try to do an early one here someday. Jaeger 2011 says, why not just say beta male? Does it not suffice? So, as much as I love Jesse Peterson, man, and he's we're talking about the same thing, essentially. But technically, if you want to get into the details, Vox Day will teach you about the entire hierarchy. And a beta male is really a Bravo male. So that's the same as Bravo, because it goes alpha, beta, and then it goes delta, and then you have sigma in there, and then you have gamma, and then you have omega at the bottom, right? So when you say beta male, if you understand the entire hierarchy, you're basically talking about the alpha male's right-hand man. every alpha male has a right-hand man. It's called his beta male or his bravo male. And he just basically carries out the orders of the alpha male without bearing all of the responsibility of the alpha. And a lot of people are bravos. Like when I'm in a social situation, I'm a natural bravo. So I would always, I would have friends that were alpha males, lots of friends that were alphas, but I was a natural bravo because I didn't want all the responsibility of the alpha, you know, which there's a lot of responsibility that comes along with that. So that's why I don't say beta, because it's just, I could say beta, you know, you guys don't understand that, but I think gamma's funnier. Aajonus Archive says, right click this link and copy. Xavier Vargas says, YouTube on your phone and open the link. I could try that here. All right. Let's see if can I play this? Dang it. This is an interesting clip, or interesting article sent me. It's basically titled, Aajonus Funder Plants May Have Faked His Death. And there's a video that goes along with it. So these comments might not make sense if I can't play the video. Let's see. So, yeah, if you guys can check that link out yourself, I guess there's somebody that thinks that Aajonus may have faked his death. That would be really interesting. That would be smart, too. But I don't know. I think we'd have to run that by Ibrahim. That's a pretty long article. If you guys don't check it out, it seems interesting. We'd have to run that probably by Ibrahim, who is his cameraman. And he's on Facebook. And he's also on YouTube. So he would probably know the answer to that. Someone maybe closer to him. But interesting theory, man. I'll have to check into that. Andreas, have you noticed any increase in hair production on the primal diet? I went from almost no facial hair to being able to grow a pretty thick and good beard. I noticed my hair got healthier for sure. It got like a little shinier and I don't know, maybe a little thicker. I never really had, I thought at times when I was like at my worst that it was like maybe thinning out or something, but I think I was being paranoid. But I think it actually was for a moment, but that I stopped it all for somehow. But not really, man. Honestly, I'm like one of the most hairy people probably on the planet. I have like this type of hair all over like every square inch of my body. It's just everywhere. Pretty thick. Which is cool because I don't get bit by bugs that often, like mosquitoes. They're like little mosquito detectors. Brandon White says frozen meat is okay. It damages the nutrients, but it doesn't create toxins like cooking does. Yeah, exactly. You're just going to get a little bit less of an energy boost from it. Lodge Felix Black, would you eat raw eggs from the supermarket? Does it matter if it's not fertile? Do you need to scald the shell? No, I don't think you need to scald the shell. And it doesn't. I don't think it matters if it's fertile necessarily. And I have eaten raw eggs from the supermarket, and I think if it's all you can get, it's probably better than no eggs, I would say. Michael Benninger, gonna go set up for Valentine's Day party. Peace everyone and happy eating. Right on, man. FYSI are raw organic eggs from Costco, fine to down. I mean, just test them out. I mean, it's probably better than nothing, you know, if that's all you can get. Try to get some from a farm, though. Hero Damon, cacao oxalates fucking me up. I've heard about that, man. I've heard about that. Bad oxalates in the cacao. But I just ate some strawberry ice cream last night, and like supposedly strawberries have super bad oxalates too. So I don't think I'm gonna be so paranoid about eliminating all oxalates. I'm just gonna try not to like eat shitloads of them, you know. Growing Pains, do you play the piano? Yeah, I can play a few songs, and I know my way around some chords and stuff like that. But I'm really better at basically like music production, using like Reason software and stuff like that. P. Miller says, instead of eating chocolate hearts, today I'm eating actual heart. Damn it, I missed that. That would have been a perfect Valentine's Day stream, raw heart. Instead of eating testicle. It's a little gay, but oh well. Brandon White, betas are normally the happiest out of all tiers in the hierarchy. I agree, man. Betas are the best because they get like a lot of the benefits of being the alpha without having all of the responsibility and stress. Wild Style, what's up? How's it going? Growing Pains, in what way does it help to conceptualize people like that? Well, it's a real existing hierarchy that exists. So you're actually seeing something that is in reality, and it's always good to get a better look at what's going on in the world, especially like that, because like it's especially important, let's say, if you're the alpha and you're trying to assemble a team or an army or a work organization. This is how males assimilate naturally. This is how males order themselves in packs. And if you're a male, you'll probably understand this. If you're a female, you've probably seen it too. But it's naturally, it doesn't apply to females. This is what's interesting about it. This only applies to men. But it's a natural order that men are put in depending on their natural temperament. And also, I think certain traumas in your life can make you a gamma or an omega male. But it's a natural disposition that is assigned to you based on your behavior. And most of the time, you cannot change your behavior. As much as you think you can, I challenge you to try to change your behavior. It's almost impossible. So what you can do is you can try, but it may take a long time. But most of the time, like gammas will stay gammas. Most of the time, the alphas will always be alpha. And at the very best, sometimes a gamma can hope to better themselves and possibly become like a decent delta. And the delta is like right in the middle. That's like your worker men, worker bee, however you want to call it. So it's very interesting when you understand, because I'm naturally a sigma, and a sigma is basically an alpha that doesn't give a shit about social status. So I have a lot of qualities of the alpha, but I never had the, let's say, I just never really cared about the status of the alpha. So, yeah. So I'm a natural sigma, just in life when I'm by myself or whatever. When I'm with like small groups of friends, but when I'm with like large groups of people, I'll naturally fall into Bravo. If I'm forced into a social situation, I will naturally fall into Bravo. Hero Diamond says frozen meat needs to be thawed a bit longer so the enzymes come back to life. Interesting. My dogs are fasting today, so they're getting a little bit needy. You getting needy down there, buddy? Don't worry. They got like 2 pounds of like roast yesterday. Growing Pains. Bart K should stop giving into the sin of angriness. Yeah, I don't like starting wars between different channels and stuff like that, but let's just say Bart is 100% a gamma male, for sure. And there's lots and lots and lots of gamma males on YouTube, guys. Like, most YouTubers are gamma male. So it's rare that you're going to find an alpha on YouTube. That's like extremely rare to find like an alpha live streamer. That's almost impossible. They're too busy out making money, dating beautiful women, driving Lamborghinis, you know what I mean? Getting drunk and beating people up at bars, you know. This is like alpha type behavior. But you're going to find mostly gammas and possibly some sigmas. Like me, Vox Day is also a sigma. So you're going to find a lot of sigmas on online too, because we don't technically give a shit about social status, but we still like to talk to people and socialize, you know what I mean? But it's not like, this isn't your typical normal socializing. It's like, this is a live stream. This is something completely different. Growing Pain says, cool, do you have a website where you release your music? I got it all burned somewhere. I just found it, actually. I made it actually 10 years ago. So, yeah, it's all like fully produced tracks, like from beginning to finish, with all sorts of, it's all like electronic experimental type stuff. But yeah, I spent a lot of time making music, man, for like a good few years, and I collaborated with another guy, and we made some albums together. Never released them like formally or commercially, but I actually started a YouTube channel and started posting my music on there a long time ago, and then I deleted my Gmail account, and I didn't realize when you deleted your Gmail account it would delete your YouTube channel as well, and so it just wiped out my entire channel, and so I just kind of like gave up on posting my music or whatever. But it was a fun project. Got a lot of musicians in my family. My mom, she plays guitar and sings, and my uncle, he's like basically a professional musician. So it's in my blood for sure, but more of a hobby than anything, I guess. And who knows, maybe someday I get back into it. But yeah, that's why I got these guys, and I got a couple other keyboards and stuff, so I can hook it up to my computer if I ever have the time and get some stuff going. What's up, Luna? I'm good. How about you? Hero says strawberry is better than cacao, but because cacao is basically a nut that is ground up. Strawberry is mostly water. Cocoa is closer to coffee, therefore harder on the body. That makes sense, man. Yeah, cacao doesn't sound very healthy at all. Look at this part of this testicle here. You see that? When I cut this part of the testicle right here, it was like, there was like blood coming out of all those holes. Jar says, women do not see the hierarchies much. They naturally filter out low-quality men the same way men filter out fat women. Yeah, it's true. Women hate low-status gamma males. They hate it. And they can recognize gamma males almost better than men. So women can definitely, they can sniff out the gammas, they can sniff out the alpha males, and they can sniff out the beta males. It's not that they can't recognize it, but it's that they may even recognize it better than us because they're on the outside of it looking in. But women just don't naturally fall into those ranks like men do, you know. That's why men, sorry ladies, but that's why men make such better soldiers, you know, because they fall into these ranks naturally, and there's just no issues getting men to perform functions within an army or within a corporation or whatever, because men just, it's just in our blood to be like that. What's up, Gatis? Who played your video at the beginning, man? The epitome of Malnourishment 6, as a little tribute to you. Martin O'Donnell says, cacao is from the seed of the fruit, dried and fermented. Interesting. Yeah, that doesn't sound too good, huh? Aajonus says oxalates are a new age medical profession myth. Watch Aajonus on anti-nutrients on my channel. Beans fuck you up because any beans are not digestible for humans. Yeah, I know. I did watch that video on anti-nutrients. Maybe we'll watch it again. What are you guys whining about? You guys want to go outside or what? I'll play this video for Aajonus Archive. And then I'll go let my dogs out.
Every plant has a protective anti-insecticide on it to keep the insects from eating everything. And his question was, how does our body deal with that? Is that a problem? And it's not a problem when we reduce it, because most of the poison is degenerated within 24 hours from it being extracted from the ground or the vine or wherever it is, whether it's picked a leaf, wherever it might be. Once it's extricated from its natural growth environment, that breaks down, because if it didn't break down, all the insects and molds that naturally decompose to recycle in composting would all die. They'd be killed. So once the plant is off, or once the plant is out of the ground, or the produce is off the tree, that whole cycle stops. We don't have to worry about the toxins, the natural insecticides that are in vegetables.
Pretty interesting. Seems pretty logical. Let's see. Where am I at here? Oh, okay. Martin O'Donnell says, lots of gammas giving chocolates to their girlfriends just to get rejected today. Exactly. Yeah. Gammas love writing like long poems and love letters to their girlfriends. That's pretty gamma behavior. I know some women think that's romantic, but usually only gammas do stuff like that. Del Bridge sent $2. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Walmart grass-fed meat, okay. I mean, I get stuff from Hy-Vee, and I don't even buy the grass-fed stuff, so it's probably about the same as what I'm getting, and I've never had issues eating supermarket beef, so I would say it's probably okay. I just wouldn't eat stuff like bone marrow and organs. I wouldn't do that from the supermarket. But I think with muscle meat, generally you're going to be okay. So yeah, you're good, man. Delbridge says Valentine's Day is a paganism. Yeah, it sounds like it. Gregory DeFranco says Valentine's Day is based off St. Valentine. Yes, the real Valentine's Day for sure. But the new one is, the new Valentine's Day is just as satanic as Christmas, because Christmas is all about just ignoring Jesus and buying people presents, which is like ridiculous. So let me get the chat box going here. Hero Damon says, I made an anti-vegan song today. Check it out, y'all. Delbridge says, no, it's not Gregory. Valentine was stolen from paganism and reinvented. Valentine's comes from Lupercalia. It is a Roman pagan ritual. Very interesting. I don't know my history enough to know who's right or wrong there, but I suggest you guys look into that for yourself. Luna DC said, I'd love to start making music as well. Yeah, I found it really easy to do with no money if you can just get the Reason software. I just got it off of torrents. I just stole it, which doesn't make me look very good, but it was really expensive. And but you can get a really old version of Reason off of torrents and just start making your own stuff. Luna DC says did some stuff for fun only. Yep, yeah. Music is fun, man. Heliana, what do you think about Bitcoin? I don't trust it. I don't trust it. I think it's a little bit ridiculous because, yeah, it's a little bit, I think it's like some globalist type stuff. I don't know if you're familiar with that term or what that even means or whatever, but it's, yeah, I don't think it's a good idea because obviously, like, I'm all about the natural diet, natural living on a farm, living on a homestead, something, you know, with your small family, small communities. That's the way that you rebuild a country. That's how you rebuild a society, is by establishing these very small nucleuses, these powerful nucleuses, you know? When you start getting into Bitcoin, like, I can't go buy my raw milk with Bitcoin, you know what I'm saying? And I can't go buy grass-fed beef with Bitcoin. And if we were to basically dissolve all of the cities and everybody went back to living on farms and stuff, Bitcoin would be a ridiculous idea. And the whole idea that Bitcoin is a way to get away from the banking, you know what I mean? Like, get away from the banks, guys, use Bitcoin. Well, for one thing, like, how do you think you're going to change in all that Bitcoin and buy stuff? You know what I mean? There's only certain people that accept Bitcoin as currency in the first place. So you have to go to the bank and exchange your Bitcoin for money. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's kind of weird. Del Bridge, where'd you get testicles from? White Oak Pastures. It's a website. Aajonus Archive says, I think Weston slayed some gamma and got the trophy. Growing pains, your dog sounds hungry, LOL. He's just being a little whiner. He knows how good this stuff is because he eats raw meat himself. So I'm basically, to him, I'm eating dog food. You know what I mean? So. These duck eggs from Miller's are really good, man. Very good. A little different flavor, but just about the same. Brandon White, I might be meeting some people in the Netherlands this summer. Yep. Awesome. There's a lot of people in the Netherlands, like on my Instagram and stuff, that eat raw meat. It's pretty cool. Luna DC, that's cool. Severia, cool. Thanks, man. Yeah. It just popped in my head today, so I just decided to play at the beginning of my stream because there's nothing that really gets on my nerves more than anything nowadays than people censoring other people. You know what I mean? When it comes to the truth, you know what I mean? Not censoring gammas. You can censor gammas all day long. There's certain people, you know, this is my platform. Certain people are not welcome here. This is my thing, you know what I mean? And I make the rules. But when it comes to the truth, like, I'm not censoring the truth here, you know what I mean? I just censor people that come in and make snide little comments or they're disrespectful or whatever. But I'm tired of the internet and the social media and stuff, like, censoring people. And I know it's never going to stop, but, you know, I don't think I'm never going to stop either, and you guys are never going to stop until they completely ban us. Yeah, Aajonus Archive, feel free to just ban people immediately, you know what I mean? Because you're going to get a lot of gammas when you start getting high numbers on streams, you know what I mean? So just feel free to weed out anybody you want, man. I think you have pretty good discretion at this point. But just make sure it's not like a typo, because I did actually ban Wolfschanz one day, because he said, because German is his first language and English is his second language, and he mistyped something. He wrote, I don't believe everything. You know, he says, I don't believe anything Aajonus says. And I was like, I was so tired of all the gammas. I was like, oh, you're banned. And Wolfschanz was like one of the most loyal watchers. And he was like, oh, shit. He was like, sorry, man. I actually meant to say I don't believe everything Aajonus says, which is drastically different than I don't believe anything Aajonus says. So I unbanned him. Growing Pains, you have some beautiful dogs. Thank you. Yeah, it's the gam meat. The gam meat. It's the raw meat. I'm breeding as I'm talking here. Andreas, the Gamma created a new account. Ha ha ha. Classic Gamma behavior, guys. Classic Gamma. He just couldn't shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? He couldn't shut up. He can't accept that I don't want him on my stream. And it doesn't matter why I don't want him on my stream. Who cares? I don't fucking know who he is. I don't know you. You know what I mean? It's like, what makes you think you can just pop into my world and say whatever the hell you want? You know what I mean? It's just total Gamma shit. It's entitlement, and yeah, it doesn't come from a good place. But yeah, once you start to call out the Gammas, you start to see them reveal themselves in all of their manifestations. You know, creating new accounts is a great Gamma move. The classic Gamma move is a wall of text. Anytime you see a wall of text as a reply or a comment, that's a classic Gamma move. A lot of intellectual posturing, stuff like that. Yeah, Aajonus underpants is a Gamma alert. That's definitely sounds very bannable. It's kind of funny though, but like I'm all about if you're actually funny, you can be funny. But you know what I mean? If you're just like trolling or trying to rock the boat, I don't think that's not really gonna fly. But if you're actually being funny, then you shouldn't be banned, because I'm all about humor. Joe Lunchbucket, do you think that most of the guys here in the stream are Gammas? No, I actually don't, man. I think there's a lot of Sigmas, because I'm a natural Sigma, and so I think that in life you attract what you put out. So I think I attract a lot of Sigmas, and so you're going to see a lot of Sigmas in here, which are natural alphas that just don't necessarily have a hierarchy to operate in. And they don't care to have a hierarchy to operate in. That's one of the great things about being a Sigma. We just don't care. You know, it's like we were always invited to the parties by the cool kids, but we never really gave a shit about going to the parties. You know what I mean? That was like my life story. I was always invited to the party, but when I got there, I was like, what the fuck am I doing here? You know what I mean? So that's basically, if that's you, you're probably a Sigma. And generally we dated pretty good looking women too, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's another part of being an alpha or Sigma, is you would have had good looking girlfriends, you know what I mean? Higher status girlfriends. Growing Pains, LOL, fellow German brother. We're all German, man. I'm like 75% German. I even just sold my surfboard. That's a bummer. Surfing sounds fun. I've actually done that one time. Just one time. Brandon White, do you know the pH scale? Not by heart or anything. This is a bloody testicle. Not really. It seems a little bit too in the weeds. I don't know if you're talking to me. Luna DC says, I'm very funny. I love my humor. That's good. Gregory DeFranco, my parents think I'm crazy. I think mine do too, for sure. What's up, LS Lenny? French carnivore, most of my friends are Sigmas. I'm trying to think if I got any Sigma friends. You know what's interesting? Once I started figuring out what a Gamma is, I started realizing that I had a couple Gammas in my friend zone, and I stopped talking to those guys. And now I can spot Gamma behavior like right away, man. It's very interesting. Hero says, or some Sigmas grow out of the hierarchy and take on a hero's journey to do their own thing, to build their own place. Basically, Sigmas are alphas without a pack, haven't built it yet, like lone lions. Yeah, they're like lone wolves. Exactly. Lone wolf, lone lion. That's a Sigma. That's a great way to put it. A Sigma is like a lone wolf, and a Gamma is the secret king. That's the best way to describe the Gamma. They're the secret king. The secret king of their own little kingdom. I gotta let my dogs in, guys. It's like 15 degrees outside. Just a sec here. Sorry for the pause. So I'm tasting actual blood in my mouth right now from that testicle. From wherever, like the end of the testicle where it attaches. There was actual blood in there. Oh man, that's hilarious, dude. Just ban that dude. Oh, he's already banned. Gotcha. The Gamma's here. Helena says, no one else I know eats like me or how we should be. I know. It's a rare thing. That's funny. That's hilarious. Someone made an account called Weston's Autism. That's actually kind of funny. You're still banned, but you're not gonna hurt my feelings. That's why I'm a Sigma. I don't give a shit about like the social stuff. So funny, dude. I'm immune to gamma attacks. Luna, anywhere we can find your music. I will upload my music for you guys so you guys can hear it. I will upload my music to a channel and I'll give you guys a link to it. I'll feature it. P. Miller picked up 3 pounds of veal liver today. Nice. That has to be Luke, dude. Pretty funny, Luke. Pretty funny, man. Pretty funny you have nothing else better to do. Growing pains. Do you drink blood sometimes? I have once. I ate some lamb blood one time. It was good. Very tasty. Very satiating. French carnivore, would you kiss a moose? Probably not, dude. Mooses freak me out, dude. Those are freaking giant animals. I know. Haleman just keeps coming back, dude. He's gonna get tired of it eventually, though. He's gonna get tired of it. See, this is why you gotta sniff out gammas before you become like friends with them. You know what I mean? Because imagine if Haleman actually knew something like personal about me. You know what I mean? Imagine that. That's why you never become friends with gammas. That's why you know what a gamma is. Because the minute you do something that doesn't go their way, yeah, they become pretty nasty people. Oh yeah, I think someone said, is weed gamma? Weed is kind of gamma, man, for sure. Because gammas are secret kings, and when you get stoned, trust me, I was like a professional weed smoker for a long time. When you get stoned, you become this little secret commander of your own little universe. You know what I mean? So it's pretty gamma. Pretty gamma. Gregory says, give the dogs some. I don't want to break their fasts. You know what I mean? I don't want to like induce any kind of hunger with them. So I think I'm not going to feed them today. French carnivore. Was Aajonus a German Jew? I don't know what Aajonus was. He definitely seemed very German. Very, very German. Because he's got that high intelligence, very structured, methodical thinking. But Aajonus was obviously his fake name. I obviously can't remember his real name. Ellis Lenny, would you describe yourself as a Sigma? Yeah, I'm a Sigma. But when I'm forced into like social situations, I become a natural Bravo. Growing Pains, will you ever do interviews again? With the right people, definitely. Yeah, that's why I'm very weary about this stuff. I actually almost did an interview with Haleman, guys, a long time ago. Luckily, he didn't answer my emails. But yeah, that's why I'm very like skeptical of people on the internet, which you guys should be too, because you can't see their faces, you can't hear their energy. All you see is their name and what they type, you know. Heliana, do women fall under any of these types too? LOL. Not natural women. No, definitely not natural women. Women that act like men do tend to fall underneath the hierarchies because they're trying to act like men, you know? Because we live in a society today where a lot of women act like men act like women. It's very confusing. Growing Pains. So spiteful behavior is gamma behavior. Oh yeah. For sure. Absolutely. You got to watch that video on gammas. It'll all be clear to you, man. But yeah, gammas, they're fundamentally unhappy with their position in the male hierarchy because they are low status males. And they're seen as low status males by most men, including myself. So, yeah, Haleman is basically a low status male. Let's just go into a little bit here. Haleman is a low status male. And, I'm not, you know what I mean? And so I called him out basically for what he is. He's a low status man. You know, you can tell by his live streams, the guy can't even afford a proper camera. You know what I mean? Like, what kind of real man can't afford a real webcam? You know what I'm saying? And then he, like, you know, gets sick from eating raw meat, and his weak little body can't handle eating raw foods, and then he wants to blame it on the food when it's his weak little body. He's just a low status, weak little man with no money. And so when you call them out like that, like I am right now, it pisses them off. It infuriates them. And that's what creates, that's what reveals the true gamma behavior. So then they try to start overthrowing the higher status men, like the alphas and the bravos, because they're just pissed off at their, you know, their fundamentally unchangeable status. You know what I'm saying? So that's essentially what's happening. But they're honestly just not even worth your time, you know what I mean? Because they're most likely not going to change. Hero says, definitely, actually, this stream helped me give up weed. Now I am brave enough to post videos on YouTube. So yeah, weed did keep me gamma. Yeah, definitely. Weed keeps you in your little shell, man. Weed makes you unconscious. I woke up to a lot of stuff, you know, while I still smoked weed, because I wasn't like smoking weed all day long or anything like that. I generally would just like, you know, smoke a little after work or whatever. But once I got weed completely out of my system, that's when I really became conscious. UI says Aajonus was Dutch and Jewish from what I understand. His real name was John, which is where Aajonus come from, and Wonderplants was the real name of his ancestors. Okay, interesting. Manny Singe says a Sigma male wouldn't go around saying he's Sigma male. I definitely don't go around saying I'm a Sigma male, but in the context of what we're talking about, I have to tell you what I am. You know what I mean? Wild Style, I just stopped this live stream to sell 2 washing machines for $1. That's a pretty good deal. WT says Kaleman. Nero called him Hellman. Hellman, because of all the satanic shit. Martin O'Donnell says Hellman's a druggie. Yeah, he's into drugs, for sure. Yeah, he does streams called I'm High as Fuck, Ask Me Anything. Yeah. We really want advice from you, man. The guy that's on drugs, fucking live streaming from his $2 fucking camera. Hero says Haleman is a narcissist and you hurt his ego. He triggered. Growing pains. Many people I know who smoked weed became very lazy. Yeah. It does take your ambition away. Unless your ambition is just to smoke weed all day. Like they said in that one Jackie Brown movie. Jar, why was Aajonus' son estranged? When I Google his son's name, a doctor's profile comes up. Aajonus talks about his son very candidly, man. He says his son was like addicted to crack and stuff like that. He didn't sound very proud of his son, man. So I think that Aajonus was, I'm not going to speculate on it, but he wasn't perfect, man. Aajonus had a very traumatic life and a very traumatic relationship with his parents. And so I think that he spent a lot of time focusing on, what are you doing, buddy? Focusing on diet and nutrition and stuff like that, you know, and I don't know. It just, I think he had a lot of just other human issues going on too, you know, with his family. French Carnivore, would you ever have family with a full hot Japanese woman who had goats already? Yeah, probably. I think I would probably, if I was to marry outside of my race, I could do either Latina or Japanese if it was the right woman. Aajonus says, not every person is on the internet, definitely. That's a good point. This is a big old chunk of testicle here. You see that? That's like actual blood. That actually looks like balls right there. But, man, my thing is so bright you can't see it. But there's like blood dripping down. All right, I'm going to make a final statement on the Haleman thing, and then I'm done talking about it for anybody that's confused. Haleman started this shit, so I'm finishing it. Haleman posted a video. It was about a 6-minute rant completely trashing the legacy of Aajonus Wonderplanets and everybody that follows him. It was the most disrespectful video of Aajonus Wonderplanets I've ever seen in my entire life. It topped Frank Tufano's video. And so he started talking shit. That's why he's banned. Haleman, if you're listening, there's consequences to your actions, buddy. Don't talk so much shit and you won't get banned. So he talked shit, I banned him, and then he made multiple accounts to come back and talk more shit. So that's why he's banned and banned and banned again. It's very, very common sense stuff. So, and that's the last I'm going to comment on him. Martin O'Donnell, Aajonus has a child. Yeah, I believe he has a son, at least. Aajonus says, smoking is just inhaling cooked vegetables. That's funny. Yeah. Brandon White, I used to smoke weed every now and then, and I was extremely depressed as well. It was nice to be able to feel normal every now and then. It's good, man. Yeah. It's good to be sober. Growing Pain says, bloody testicles on Valentine's. Very romantic, isn't it? Hero Damon says, I call them Rocky Mountain oysters. Yeah, I called them Rocky Mountain oysters on Instagram because Instagram banned me for posting brains on one of my old channels. So I'm trying not to get banned from them. So when it comes to like posting testicles and brains, I put Rocky Mountain oysters. So hopefully they won't ban it, you know. What do you think, Ivan says, what do you think about bow hunting and archery? It sounds really fun, man. I'd love to get into it. French Carnivore says, I think you're right with the mushrooms. I think Jesus gave everyone mushrooms, and Christianity is really a mushroom initiation. To experience Christ, you have to take the sacrament. I'm not 100% sure on that. There's at times that I did believe that. But the dog is being super loud with that bone. There's times I didn't believe that. But I think it's just one way you can access it. So I wouldn't be fooled by mushrooms, man. I wouldn't be fooled by it. I think it's one way to access something that's always there. And I think anything that you can access through drugs, you can access through your normal neurochemistry, because all drugs do is mimic your existing neurochemistry. Think about that. So I wouldn't put so... Hang on a second. Hey, buddy. Out there, I was getting a little loud with that bone, but yeah, I wouldn't put so much power onto substances like that, because there's stuff out there that's far greater than that I think is really in control of this stuff. But I think there may be something to that. You just never know, man. You never know. Gregory says, what's the red pill on attracting girls at 15? I wouldn't worry about it at 15, dude. I mean, just be yourself. I wouldn't worry about getting married or anything like that until you're like probably at least 18 or 20, you know? But just be yourself. Focus on getting through high school and then getting out and learning a trade, learning some sort of skill that can make you money, make some money, get your own house, and then, trust me, plenty of women will come. Because that's all they want, is they want a dependable man that's financially set, that has like a place to live, that can provide for a family. It's just, women and men are very, very simple. But don't chase women, man. Definitely don't chase them. As soon as you chase them, they'll run away. Chasing women is gamma behavior. French Carnivore, once you trip hard enough on shrooms, you can see the creator's genius and intelligence. I think that's definitely one way to do it, but here's the crazy thing, man, is there's people that have never tripped shrooms, and they've seen that exact same beauty, you know? So it's, for some people, it's a way to access it. For other people, they can access it just by praying, you know what I mean? Like, there's people that just pray and they see that shit. So I know what you're saying, French Carnivore, because I had definitely very similar experiences, but those experiences also taught me that you don't need mushrooms to experience that. So it's almost like it puts you in like kind of like a loop, and it makes you see everything. Gregory DeFranco, bread and wine replaced flesh and blood in Christianity. Interesting. Luna says, plus by giving so much power to some drug, however natural, you take away your own. Exactly. Exactly. All of this stuff, it comes from the inside, you know what I mean? So sometimes when you take like a bunch of mushrooms or whatever, it shows you that you're able to access this thing from the inside. So don't get that confused with, you know, the fungus. The fungus is just a way to, I guess, it's like a tool in a sense. It's like a tool, but it's not the machine. It's a tool to access the machine, you know? Aajonus Archive, Milk Jar says he has insane dreams every night. His gut biome makes so much chemicals, he trips every night. Oh, dude. My dreams are nuts. My dreams are nuts every single night, man. I'm going through the same exact thing right now. French carnivore, most people who take them recount as one of the most profound experiences they've ever had, on par with having children. Yeah, it is. Very, very profound. Luna DC says, exactly, Weston, you speak my mind. We can all access the same truth, you know what I mean? We're all given, we're all born with the truth inside of us. That's why you don't need a Bible, you don't need a preacher, you don't need anybody to teach you this shit. All you need is someone to teach you that the truth is inside you, and you can access that. There's maybe some tools that people can give you, but ultimately people can't show you the truth. You have to find it for yourself, you know? But we're all given the same truth manual. Jeremy Kai, is it normal that when I tried raw meat, I prefer it when it's warm, not cooked but warm? I don't like it when it's out of the fridge. Yeah, just leave it up to room temp. That's what I do. It's very normal. Just bring it up to room temp and go from there. If you got time, set it out. You can even set it out like a whole half a day early, you know? Get your meals ready for the day and just put them on the counter for the day. Brandon, I realize a lot with shrooms, but I think they can help me to explore my mind and bring things to the surface so that I can move on. Yeah, exactly. It brings you more into the moment. And that's where God is. God is found in the moment. Growing Pains. Have you seen when Gottis interviewed Roger King? His story is beautiful. I don't think I have. And he didn't take any drugs, I think. Yeah, it's amazing. Guys, you would be amazed at how many people have never touched any drugs, and they're completely aligned with the truth and everything. So it's just, some of us take the, what do they call it? The long and windy, and then there's the short and narrow, you know what I mean? Some of us take the long and windy path to the truth. Some of us take the short and narrow. Aajonus Archive. Weston, did you investigate Kabbalah? It's the origin of Judaism and Christianity. I have not. I have not looked into that. Sounds interesting, man. I've heard of it. Growing Pains. The Bible is true, though. There is a lot of truth in there. Definitely a lot of truth in there. It's definitely inspired by God, but it is not the word from God, because God did not write that book. It was translated through men, so you should always be skeptical of anything that's translated through men and corrupted over time. But the Bible has absolutely a bunch of profound truths inside of it, for sure. Gregory Franco, how did you... Hey, what's up, Reef Guzzler? Gregory Franco, how did you come back in touch with your intuition and instincts? It just naturally kind of happened, but a lot of it had to do with like quitting coffee, like quitting alcohol, quitting weed, quitting pornography, like all of that stuff that just pulls you away from your intuitions and instincts and stuff. And getting more in touch with raw meats and animals and dogs, you know what I mean? And just getting more in touch with the truth. But it just happens on this diet, man. Like, I feel like this, we talked about this on one of my other streams, but I feel like this diet, it either completed my puberty, because I feel like my puberty got like halted when I was 14. And I had some kind of developmental disorder or something. Like, I didn't develop normally like everybody else around me. And then when I went on this diet, I started noticing that my memories and feelings and stuff were coming back from like early childhood and like my teenage years and all of these like random points in my life. All these memories were coming back and stuff. Like very vivid memories when I was like, it felt like I was back in that time. And so I started thinking about that and wondering if this diet was like healing my brain and rebuilding my brain of parts that had just not fully formed through puberty and stuff. And so I feel like this diet has made me the man that I was supposed to be, you know, that I was supposed to be like 10 years ago. But it's finally made me that person, you know? And so I'm wondering like if it didn't complete my puberty process or something, you know? And then I talked to other people and they were saying that they're experiencing the same thing, you know? That this diet was like putting them through either a second puberty or it was completing their initial puberty. So it's very fascinating stuff, man. Yeah, Mel Gibson does eat raw meat and raw oysters are the best. Yes. Hero says I overate raw oysters and had wet dreams every night for 3 nights. LOL. Sounds like you needed it, bro. Sounds like you needed it. I don't know if raw testicles would do that necessarily, but it definitely changed the way I looked at things. It like boosted my libido for 2 days. LS Lenny says I experienced the same with the memories and feelings. Isn't that weird? Yeah, it's almost like you feel like you were your old person again. Like I felt like I was like 10 again. Isn't that weird? Like I'm in my 30s, but I felt like I was 10. I felt like I was 12. I felt like I was 16 again. It's almost like I feel like, I don't know, man. It almost sounds like schizophrenia or something. Like I'm not afraid to say it, but it's like my psyche got, because schizophrenia literally means like, I think it means like, it translates to like fractured or split mind. That's what schizophrenia means. It literally feels like my mind became split. And like when I hit like 12 and 14, then my mind split. Right? Branched off. And then when I hit like 16, my mind split. And then when I hit like 19, my mind split again. And so there was these different times in my life and it kind of stopped because I stopped using all chemicals and drugs and alcohol when I was 19. And it stopped happening when I was 19. So it's like my diet combined with like smoking pot and drinking alcohol and trying different various drugs was making my mind split. And this is the best way I can describe this, and it almost falls in line with schizophrenia, but I've never been diagnosed of it, but it's almost like I had like maybe a mild version of it or something, because like getting on this diet, it feels like it's healing those splits, because at those moments in my life, I feel like I'm getting transported back to those moments and I'm feeling all of those emotions and like, it feels like I am that person again. It's really weird. So it's like my brain is going back and it's like healing those little fractures that are happening, you know? Very interesting stuff, man. But the reason I never thought I was like schizophrenic or anything is because I never had the like visual disturbances or anything like that. I never had like the hallucinations or anything like that. But schizophrenia is like, it's like ALS. It's like Lou Gehrig's disease, to where you're talking about like a myriad of different diseases that are happening at the same time, that they group it all up into one word, you know what I mean? But you can have like a lot of symptoms of schizophrenia and not be a diagnosed schizophrenic. So it's very interesting stuff. Yield Medic says, same here, Wes. I had definite brain damage, hormonal deficit. Yeah, it's pretty obvious when you realize it about yourself. When you're looking at other people advancing in life, advancing socially, doing all these things that you're just like kind of incapable of doing. At the time, you don't think that you're incapable of doing it. You're just not doing it. But once you look back like 10, 20 years, you're like, damn, man, I was really like almost developmentally delayed. P. Miller says, I'm 18 and it does feel like a second puberty. Interesting. You're doing it at a great time, dude. Yeah, because you're still actually probably going through at the end of it there. Hero Diamond says, keep us posted on the raw testicles after effects. I will. I'll probably be back Sunday for a stream and I'll let you guys know. Belly Bell, a little compliment on Valentine's Day. You are a pretty handsome man inside out, Weston. I hope you know that. Greetings and good night, everybody. Aw, that's so sweet. I got a little Valentine. Made my day. That was very kind of you. Thank you so much. French Carnivore, if you had an army, who would you want to lead the tank regiment? Owen Vox or Nick Fuentes? Definitely Vox. Definitely Vox. I think Owen would be a good Bravo to Vox. And we could have Nick Fuentes as our cook, or as our meal prepper. The gammas are making me laugh today for some reason. It's getting kind of fun. Alright, Brandon, see you later, man. Thanks for coming. Ty Lopez, Jesus was a legitimate historical figure, though. I think you've said that before, and that stuck with me for sure. That definitely stuck in my brain. What other kind of books, legit books, was Jesus written about in? Do you guys know? Because I would like to read that. Luna DC, I believe in a higher intelligence, creator, if you will, but I do not condone religion. I think it takes away from our own thought. Yeah. I didn't used to believe that, what you just said right there about the religion thing. I always thought that was for people, I don't know, that just didn't quite know God yet or something. Or I just didn't quite see the whole connection with how religion is bad or whatever. But now I kind of see it, because most people that are hooked on this religion thing, they have no real connection with God, and they don't operate like that in their real life. The people that I see that don't follow the Bible have the strongest connection to God. It's weird. It's almost like the intellectuals are connecting to the Bible intellectually more than they're connecting to God spiritually, you know? Ellis Laney, I felt like I was coming back to my true child self, and it is beautiful. Yes, man. You articulated it perfectly. That's exactly what I feel like. And you know that also, I'm not trying to get all preachy with you guys, but these are just profound truths that I've discovered. God said in the Bible, supposedly, but it's written in the Bible, that we must become like children in order to enter the kingdom of heaven. That is like some truly profound shit. And to see people eating raw meat and correcting their health and diet and feeling like their true child selves again, which I can totally relate to. Like, I feel like I'm almost like a kid, you know, a kid again, man. It's just very interesting stuff, man. And to be able to achieve that along with inner peace, it's like, it feels like you're getting close to what they're talking about in this whole kingdom of heaven thing, you know? I don't think it's like a castle in the sky or anything like that. I really think it's some kind of inner peace that happens inside of you. French Carnivore, would you eat a whole bucket of KFC for 10 grand? Hell yeah. If anybody wants to fund that, I will definitely go for that. That'll go towards my new house, for sure. The old medic says bingo. Yeah, man. There's a lot of people that are relating to this. We're all kind of going through the same thing. If you read Weston Price's book, guys, I know there's a lot of people that haven't read it because I'm not even halfway through it, and this thing is 500 freaking pages. So I know a lot of people have not read this 500-page book because it's just so freaking long. But if you read Weston Price's book, Ye Olde Medic, and everybody else that's onto this whole developmental disorder type thing, it will blow your freaking mind. I'm sure you've heard the summarizations from people about this book or whatever, but I'm telling you, what people are telling you about Weston Price's book has nothing on what you're actually going to read in the book. It is freaking profound shit, man. It's all about these developmental problems and all this stuff. And once you read it with your own eyes in his book, you start to see it everywhere in your life, in your family, in your face, in your friends' faces. It's just in your behavior. It's crazy. Chili says, I'm 17. I do feel the diet has changed my facial structure. Nice. If you feel like it has, it probably has, man. Ellis Laney, one day I was sitting in my childhood house in the garden in the sun when these feelings hit me. I was like feeling like my child self again, and I literally started to cry a little. Yeah, it's pretty profound, isn't it? It's life-changing, man. It is. It's like you healed. It's like you have healed a part of your soul, you know? All right, Brandon. Take it easy, buddy. Luna DC says, if anything, most people who are into the religion act based out of fear for whatever it is, hell or such a thing, which it can never bring a good outcome. Yeah. Yeah, you shouldn't fear anything. Exactly. Yep. I think it's out of fear, and there's also a lot of like intellectualism in there, because we live in a very heavy intellectual society that's like disconnected from your spirit, you know? Man, butter, guys, butter at room temperature is the shit. Put your butter on the counter, man. If you have raw butter, and don't refrigerate it. I don't know why it took me so long to do this stuff. So you have 20 months into this diet. I've been working on this stuff for every day for 20 months. I'm still discovering, you know? Put your cheese and your butter on the counter, stuff like that. Molcia Blue, what's the name of the book? It's Weston Price, Nutrition and Physical Degeneration. It's one of the best books I've ever read. And I can't believe it took me this long to read it, but I worked through a lot of different types of books. This one's good. Ye Olde Medic says, since we're on the topic of spirituality, I'll drop my teacher, the monk Huang Po. Growing Pain says you should fear your own demons so as not to give in to them. I don't know, man. I don't think so, man. Because demons are little gammas. They're little tricksters, and so is the devil. You shouldn't fear them, man. They're little pussies. They have no actual control over you, you know? Especially when you're operating in you know, God's love, I guess you could say. You know what I mean? When you're operating in pure logos, you're operating in pure logic and order, you don't have to give in to the chaotic demons, man. They're little gammas. They have no control over you. They're just like social media, people that run social media. They have no actual real control over you. It's all just fear and intimidation. Like, when it comes down to it, they have no power, because Vox Day is revealing that right now. Vox Day is like suing Patreon and PayPal and shit because they banned Owen Benjamin, and they've banned him and all sorts of stuff. And they're starting to find out that these companies are way smaller and way weaker than you could ever think. And the only reason that they have all this power and control is because nobody's suing them. Nobody has the balls to sue these companies. But when you sue them, you find out that they can't do anything to you. Wild Style says, wow, you got multiple personalities probably. I've wondered that too, but I don't know where the proof of that is. But I do feel that if I ever had anything in my life, Yeah, multiple personalities, that does sound possible. But that's interesting. But I think if I ever did have anything like that psychologically, it is 100% resolved on this diet, dude. This diet is like freaking amazing. Rich carnivore, I'd be okay with another Christian crusade and have Christianity dominate the planet, maybe even the galaxy and the entire cosmos. Yeah, we will start to see, basically, when God starts to become enacted more into our government, because they took God out of the government, they took God out of our education system and all that stuff. Once they put God and his order back into the government, established back in, that's when you'll start to see real change in the world. Martin O'Donnell says, the only thing you should fear is God and his judgment. Yeah, I think that's accurate, especially if you're a sinner and you haven't repented. You should definitely fear God and his judgment. But I think if you repented for all your sins and you don't sin anymore, then there's nothing to fear, obviously. Because why would you have to fear? Because you're not sinning. You know what I'm saying? The old medic says, I mean, truthfully, everything is my teacher. Dude, the best teacher's right in here, man. The best teachers teach you that you can teach yourself from in here. You know what I mean? And it's not really you teaching yourself. It's like, it's God teaching you, obviously. But all that logic and order is all right in your heart, man. It's written in your heart. Chris Parks, the only thing to fear is fear itself. Yes. Molzia Blue, I think the idea of hell was also created to keep people in line. That's part of it, the religious part of it, but hell is a very, very real thing, man. If you've ever heard of the concept living in a living hell, or that person's living in hell, if you've ever seen like a schizophrenic, unmedicated or unhealed, you've seen hell. If you've ever seen someone locked in a prison cell, you've seen someone in hell. Hell and heaven exist right here. It's all fractal. This stuff is fractal. Heaven and hell exist here. It exists here, outside of you, and it also exists probably on a bigger scale, bigger than that. But P. Miller, I always cried a lot as a young kid and never felt content. I know now it had everything to do with diet. I was trying to satisfy my hunger with PB&J and applesauce. Yeah, I went through the same thing, man. I didn't cry a lot or anything like that, but I was discontent for sure. Discontented. Never had this kind of peace when I was a kid. Yeah, it's almost like L.S. Lenny was talking about. It's almost like this diet gives you, it transports you back to when you are a kid and you get that peace again. That peace that you always wanted as a kid, you get it now. And so that part of your spirit that stopped growing as a child, it starts to grow again on this diet because you're shown that peace that you were never given as a child. It's like, it's torture, man, to not give kids the right type of food, to never give them any type of internal peace like that, and then to just watch them grow up and become fuck-ups, basically, you know? Del Bridge sent $2. Thanks, man. Appreciate that again. Does watching erotica increase gamma behavior? Probably. I mean, gamma behavior is going to make you want to probably watch erotica in a sense. But what watching erotica does is it puts you into almost like a fake world, you know, and it also objectifies women, you know. So it's almost a way of like disrespecting women. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily gamma, but it's definitely something that gammas do. But it's more about erotica and porn and stuff like that is more about actually disrespecting and hating women. So it's not quite what you think. If you have issues with your mother and you never forgave her, then you're going to go around hating women. And a lot of times that leads to watching pornography, which is all about degrading and disrespecting women. Basically, like Owen Benjamin says, it's, you know, a bunch of dudes banging runaways, banging drug addicted runaways. You know what I mean? It's like the most disrespectful thing you could ever do to a woman. So to watch that and pleasure yourself is pretty twisted if you think about it. So yeah, it's just a way for people with like basically it's a way for people that hate women to act out their fantasies, you know? It's pretty deep shit, man. And a lot of times men that hate women and have issues with their mother, they become womanizers and they become very promiscuous. So it's not quite what you think, man. The guys that are out there being overly promiscuous, it's not because they love women, it's because they hate women. It's very interesting, man. Growing pains, yeah. Okay, maybe not fear them, but beware of them, I guess. Yeah, respect them. Respect them for what they are and put them in their place. Caleb Point, can unheated honey cause you to detox? I wouldn't think so. I mean, I think anything on this diet, because it's so clean and pure, could possibly get you to detox. I've heard oysters get people to detox. WT, I cry from movies and videos, but never a real life death of a friends and family. Stories are sad, not death. I cried when my dad died of Lou Gehrig's disease. I didn't cry for years when I watched him just slowly degrade, you know? Most likely from vaccines is what killed him. And, but yeah, on the way to his funeral, I broke down pretty hard. And at the funeral, in front of everybody. It was kind of embarrassing. Martin O'Donnell, why is Vox Day suing Patreon? Because they just keep deplatforming people, man. They keep, you know, deplatforming him, deplatforming Owen Benjamin. They deplatformed so many freaking people that people are starting to get pissed. It's unethical, it's illegal, you know, because it's basically called tortious interference, which is when a third party comes in and interferes with a contract between two people. So it's basically tortious interference. Cindy K, why do we have this intelligence if everything we do and create with it is unnatural, not healthy, like technology, food? Why did God give us this super intelligence? I think it's more like an intuition than intelligence, but we're still subjected to evil, you know? So that's the test of this world. That is the world that we live in, is that we are... I think the objective is you have to beat the devil in order to find God, in order to find peace. And a lot of people are just, they battle the devil all day long the rest of their life and they never get woken up. But there's a select few people, and I think it's a very, very small group of people, very minute, that figure out how to beat the devil and then they become more in contact with God. And so until you beat the devil, you're going to be subjected to his deceptions. And he's all about you becoming attached to your ego on who you are as a flesh person. Because this whole flesh thing, this whole body is temporary. It's all an illusion. You're really a spirit, but the devil doesn't want you to think that. The devil wants you to think that you are this powerful human. You know, you're strong, you're capable, you're able to do all this stuff, and you're all this and you're all that. That's what makes you build technology. That's what makes you build corporations. That's what makes you build Lamborghinis. You know what I mean? All of this shit that you don't need, you know, because all you basically need is your family and a farm and some milk and some food and you know what I mean, and be humble. But you're still, so yeah, we're given like this super intuition by God. We're given the truth right here, but the God, Satan is basically, he's like the manager of this planet in a way, you know what I mean? And he has control over a lot of us. Growing Pains, true pornography is incredibly misogynistic, absolutely. French carnivore, I'm getting paid $250 a day to babysit this cat, but I have to live in this mansion with the cat for a week. That's funny. That sounds like a, I don't know, it sounds like an interesting movie or something, short film. WT, haven't you been told to be rough? I'm not sure what that means. Oh, you mean like tough, not cry and stuff like that? Growing Pains, I'm sorry for your loss. Yeah, thanks. Appreciate that. It's no big deal. We all die. It just sucks to see someone die from like was most likely military vaccines, you know? Hero Diamond's busting rhymes over here. I beat the devil and spit on his face. Now I can't stop my pace. Got the world on embrace. All right, buddy, you're invited back. Just don't be so crunchy. Don't be so crunchy. Hero Diamond says, Haleman harassing now. Gotta get a restraining order for him. Dude, Haleman's nothing, dude. Haleman's nothing. In the words of Vox Day, conflict, how does he say it? Conflict is the world in which we live in. It is the waters in which we swim. Someone like Haleman making fake little accounts and making little comments like that is nothing. This is the waters in which I swim, buddy. I have no problems banning you every frickin' stream. Bring it on, buddy. Bring it on. I seek conflict. I seek it, man. Jar, have you ever read the 9 satanic sins laid out by Satanists? I actually haven't. Sounds interesting. Sveria says, do you like Pearl Jam? I do kind of like their new song. It's a little weird compared to their old stuff, but it's actually pretty legit. But yeah, I do like Pearl Jam, for sure. Should you go? Thoughts on the idea of the apocalypse? Is it coming soon? I don't think so. Nah, I wouldn't worry about it. There's too much good in the world. Yeah, Pearl Jam's new song is really interesting, man. You know what I've heard about the apocalypse? This is one of the most interesting ideas I ever heard about the apocalypse. So, some people think that the DMT realm exists just outside of this realm, and then we have this realm, right? And some people theorize that the apocalypse is when this world, the DMT realm, and our world join together somehow in time and space. So it's like this rolling cloud that is reaching each other, getting closer and closer to each other, and then it finally like rips together. I don't know. It just sounds like something someone made up on drugs, but it was very interesting. French Carnivore says, even Owen Benjamin hates Pearl Jam. They're not bad. They got some good tracks. I mean, it's not my favorite band in the world, but I've never hated them. Like, you can't say, like, what was that first album they had? One of their first albums is pretty awesome. Growing Pains, do you know Street Light Manifesto? No, I don't. Got another duck egg here, though. Growing Pain says it sounds a bit funny when you call it the DMT realm. I know it definitely sounds funny. It definitely sounds funny. Especially if you've never experienced like a deep experience like that. But when you're in there, I've never done DMT. Let's get that straight. But Kai Solace since $5. Thank you. Satan is referred to as Rex Mundi, king of the world, worldly desires. These have no power over us unless we allow it. People are stronger than they think. Exactly. Satan deceives you to be scared of all that stuff. Some of this meat, I don't usually leave food like this, but some of this meat is a little too dry aged. I can probably get it. It's a little too crunchy. T1, thoughts on underground cities with advanced alien species living there? I don't think that exists. I have no way of proving it, but my intuitions tell me that's probably not happening. WT says Eddie Vieger. Is he vegan? Reef Guzzler, I always thought of the two realms always overlapping each other, but with our only 5 senses, we aren't always aware of what's happening on the other side. Yeah, I think that's probably true too. Right. So basically, like, the theory that I read was that the two realms do exist at the same time, but the apocalypse happens when you start to become aware of both of them at the same time. And that's interesting because if you've ever read Revelations, it definitely seems like some kind of weird psychedelic experience. Wild Style says you know a lot about stuff. I like to talk about a lot of various things. I've got a lot of life experience, man. A lot of different crazy life experiences, you know. A lot of stuff I haven't talked about on stream or anything, but it's just, it all adds to the intuition. And it's really not about knowing, you know. Because, like, the more you know, the more it becomes poison, in a sense. It's really about, I don't know how to explain it. It's really almost about dropping all of your knowledge and just becoming truly in the moment and just tapping into the information that's available, like, right now, you know? It's always being given to you. You just got to tap into it. Growing Pains, are you on 2MAD still? Yeah, basically. Sometimes I eat like a milkshake in the morning, but it's only every once in a while. But yeah, I'm just eating like a light lunch, and then I'm eating like this pretty big dinner. Heliana, do you think we are in a dome? I have no way of knowing, but that seems a little weird. Because, like, it doesn't really fall in line with the structure of our world, you know what I mean? Like, there's no other domes anywhere. Everything is, like, organic around us. It's all, like, grass and dirt and sun. So it's like, where does, like, the dome come in? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't seem plausible, but I can't really prove it. Jeremy Kai, can you send me the article or book about the link of pornography and forgiving or hating our parents and women's? Oh yeah, I can give you some Jesse Peterson stuff on that. He talks a lot about forgiving your mother, man. He's helped a lot of people forgive their mothers. Here's a good one. Here, let's just watch this together, man. This is some good shit.
If you were to take any advice from me at all, there would be one that I would highly recommend that you take. Everything else you can let go to the wayside. But if there's one you would take advice from me, I would advise you to let go of anger. And the way you let it go is go and forgive your parents. Most of the time, it starts at home first. And at home, most of the time, is with the mother or grandmother, whatever woman's in charge of your life. And the reason for that is that it's not in the nature of the woman to raise children alone. It's in the nature of the father. And the woman is there to help raise the kids. But when she has to do it on her own, even if the father's in the home and he's weak, because most men are weak and women hate weak men. I was talking to a young lady yesterday, counseling with her, and she said that she's married to a guy who is white, but he at one time was married to a woman of color. I think she said the woman was either Asian or Indian or something like that. And that because he's weak, that woman abused him like 90 going north. And he was not able to deal with her. And he's not able to deal with his now wife either. And that's because he has not overcome his mother. And most adults, especially in the black community, most adult men, women, and children resent their mothers and they're yearning for their fathers. So I want to encourage you, just give it a try. You have nothing to lose. Well, you do have a lot to lose. Hell, you'll come out of that fallen state. But I urge you to forgive. That's all that it takes. You don't have to know the Bible. You don't have to go to church. You don't have to be a Christian. You don't have to be a Jew or Muslim or anything. You just need to recognize that you have this anger. And evidence of the anger being there, if your parents can get on your nerve, if they irritate you or you wish they just shut up. That's resentment. Forgive them. Don't ask for forgiveness. And don't say, forgive me for what I've done. You forgive them, and God will forgive you, and your world will change. You'll come out of that fallen state. And also read my book, From Rage to Responsibility. From Rage to Responsibility. And I write about how I was able to completely overcome anger. Anger is not something you can control. Anger is not strength at all. It's a weakness. It's evil. You can't even trust an angry person. Any human being who has anger, whether it's husbands and wives, children and parents, friends, cousins, nieces, employees, employers, friendships, if they have one iota of anger, you can't trust them. You can't be trusted, and you can't trust, because at some point you turn on each other. Because you can't help it. That anger is the nature of Satan. Get From Rage to Responsibility. Go to Amazon.com, but if you like an autographed copy, go to my website, rebuildingtheman.com, or call 800-411-BOND. Also, donate to my nonprofit organization, BOND, the Brotherhood Organization of a New Destiny. We are rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man for 28 long years without one dime from the government. Read more about it. All right?
Some truth right there, man. That guy says some of the most profound shit ever. But you hear that, Haleman? Go forgive your mother, buddy. Jesse's not what's a Freemason? I don't understand what that means. Yeah, forgiveness is awesome, man. No, that's not true, Martin. It's not true, Martin O'Donnell. You gotta forgive other people. Once you see it, you see it. No, you're not. You're missing the point, dude. You don't confront people on their sins. You just forgive them for the sins that they did to you. That's completely different. You're not judging them, only God judges, you know? It's totally different. Yeah, forgiveness is huge, man. Once you figure out forgiveness, it's like such a relief. Catch up on comments here. How old are you? I'm mid-30s. Martin O'Donnell, DMT realm is an illusion. Satan can appear as angel of light. Remember that? Yeah, maybe. It might be true. Definitely might be true there. Yeah, I work at a construction company as a manager. I think I'm getting into sales, though. I think I'm actually going to get into the office here. So I'm not going to be doing actual work type work. But Growing Pains says that is really profound and everybody should know that. Yeah. Yeah, and that's different than what Jesse was teaching. But yeah, you should absolutely confront and repent for your own sins. Never confront other people on their sins. That's like, yeah, that's obnoxious behavior. But always forgive people. Anybody that's betrayed you or made you mad or imposed their will on you. And a lot of times it's your parents, and that's what he's talking about, you know. Jason Smith, do you express your God-given Second Amendment rights? Second Amendment, is that the right to bear arms? Damn it. I don't know my amendments very well. But yeah, definitely. Jar says, good question. If someone is abusive to you, why would you forgive them, cut them out of your life, and move on? Because you're going to carry around anger and resentment, whether you realize it or not. If someone's done something or betrayed you, you're going to carry around that anger and resentment like underneath the surface for the rest of your life. So you got to forgive them. You got to learn that. But you have to understand that basically that person did not want to be like that. And so once you realize that they couldn't help themselves and that people naturally can't help themselves and they're taught to be that way by their parents, like usually if you have like a nasty mother or whatever, they're taught to be that way by their grandmother. And so, you know, basically you just, once you see there's a chain of trauma that gets inherited down through families and that we're almost like subjected to it because we're just fallen people, we're in a fallen state, you know what I mean? You start to have compassion for other human beings because you realize that even though that they were abusive to you, that they were also suffering at the same time, you know? So it's some things that a lot of people realize, but forgiving definitely helps. Wild Style says, hope you talk more about that stuff you're not sharing. Yeah, maybe not. I don't know if it's going to happen on live stream or not, you know? Just because there is so many gammas on here, it's hard to just like completely open up about everything in your life on here, you know? Martin O'Donnell, Haleman just said there's no God but you, LOL, what happened to him? That's satanic shit, dude. It's satanic. It's all ego. It's all about just being young and dumb, dude, you know? Andreas, will you keep your work when you move out on your farm? Yeah, I will keep my job, definitely. Maybe eventually become fully self-sustainable. Helion, I remember having a dream of an excluded highly tech island of the elites where they were experimenting on humans. I was caught in between and trying to escape. Horrible. Dang. Helion, what if you were a child and you are being abused and are dependent? It's not so easy to move on. Yeah, it's tough being a child, man. It's really hard. Jason Smith, is the Second Amendment under attack in Nebraska? Our brothers in Virginia are being pushed to war as the Virginia Senate and House passed an assault weapons ban, which is a clear act of war on rights. Man, that's crazy. I don't think they banned assault weapons in Nebraska. I don't think so. I don't have any assault weapons, but I don't think they're going to get away with that here. There's a lot of hunters and stuff. Heliana said, I lived terrible abuse myself and I wish I found and escaped. I was too little and naive to know anything else. Yeah, we were all, I mean, I wasn't terribly like physically or sexually abused or anything like that, guys. Like I luckily escaped a lot that a lot of people didn't escape, but you know, I was definitely probably subjected to some maybe neglectful type behavior, you could say, but I think we all kind of were, especially if you look at like what we're being fed and shit like that. But yeah, we're all just, you just grow up in it and then you realize later on, you're like, damn, that was kind of fucked up, you know? Just certain nasty things, you know what I mean, that people say that they shouldn't say, stuff like that, like certain things kids shouldn't hear, you know? Sarah Sapien, think you might forgive the Gammas? Oh yeah, the Gammas, you're all forgiven. Haleman already knows he's forgiven, man. I wrote on Haleman's channel, I said, you're forgiven, dude, because I know you know not what you do. And I said, I wish you the best and Godspeed. I already said that to him a week ago on his channel, and he took that comment and still comes back here, and you know what I mean? So it's just like, whatever. You know what I mean? He's forgiven. I don't carry any hatred towards him or anything like that because I understand more about him than he could ever realize. And I think that really hurts him to know that he's transparent, you know what I mean? He's not this like mind-blowing truth sayer, you know what I mean? Like coming on my stream, dropping all these truths. It's like sorry man, we see through your little tricks, man. And we're just, you know, whatever. Heliana, I'm currently working and moving my animals to a big farm. That's awesome. Hero Diamond says, doggies know you're done eating. They want snacks. Yeah, I might hook them up here. All right, you guys want a treat? You want a treat for the stream? You want a treat? Sit down. Sit. Good boy. You want a little treat? Look at her, good balance. They're getting pretty good at balancing like that. You want a treat? Get up. Go ahead, get up. Get up. No. You don't get on the desk. Come on. Take it. You want a treat? You want a treat? Come on. Come on, Chunky. What was that? She thought I dropped it. There you go. You want a little niblet? Oh boy. Good girl. Dale Lloyd, I've been watching Owen Benjamin since you spoke about him a couple weeks ago. I heard him read out your letter about Aajonus. Hope he looks into it. I sure hope so too. Yeah. Yeah. He kind of read through it a little quick, but we'll see. Jason Smith, get yourself an AR-15, has almost zero recoil, good range, accurate. The Smith & Wesson M&P is only 500. Damn good fun and shoot, and it can only come in handy one day. Sounds like fun, dude. Might have to get me one of those guys. Hero Diamond, they're being so good at sitting. Yes, they are. I've been teaching them to sit while they eat since they were puppies. Because when they were puppies, I noticed they would get really riled up and fight each other and just get all aggressive. So it's always, when it's eating time, it's like you sit and you be very calm, you know? Right, buddies? Right, buddy? Can you say hello? You want to say hello to everybody? Say hello. Go hello. It's close. Can you do it again? Hello. He sure tries, man, you know? It's like they don't have the vocal cords that we do to talk, but he sure as hell gets close. Beach Fitness, have you brought any girls back to your lair and fed them raw meat yet? I could take that a couple different ways, but I assume you're talking about food. I actually haven't had any that wanted to try like beef or anything like that, but I've had some that wanted to try like sashimi, and but I just never got the sashimi lined up or anything like that. But I've had some that were interested in eating raw tuna. Heliana, what breed is the black dog? Looks tough. Yeah, Kitty Cat nailed it. That's exactly what it is. Pitbull mix husky. Blue nose pit mixed with Siberian husky. They're both the same. Hero Diamond says Pitskis forever. Yeah, it sounds like Hero Diamond might have a Pitski litter. I think I might wrap up in a few minutes here, guys. Just a little warning, a little heads up. It's been a nice little conversation so far. Joe Lunchbucket, do you like sports? Yeah, I like. I'm pretty athletic, and I like doing. I like playing basketball. I love baseball. Obviously, like pick up football games, stuff like that. Yeah, I like playing. I don't like really watching sports though. I think being a sports fan is a little bit gay, but I like watching it for sure. I mean, I like playing it, not watching it. Because I find it kind of weird, like grown men idolizing other grown men in a sense. But sports are cool because like it's a war simulation, you know? It's interesting. Growing Pain says, Pitskis, well, one of the most beautiful dog breeds I've seen yet. Well, thanks, man. It's awesome. It's very, very nice of you to say. They like you guys, buddy. They get a lot of looks when I walk them. When I walk them outside and stuff like that, they get a lot of looks, and people will ask me across the street and stuff, what kind of dog is that? Andreas says, haha, Freudian slip. Just kidding. Oh yeah, all sorts of Freudian slips. Growing Pain says, yeah, why watch other people do something you want to do yourself? Yeah, exactly. It's almost like sports, people watching sports just for people that can't do it themselves, maybe. Hero Diamond, sports imitate hunting too. Track a ball. That's interesting. Damn. Hero Diamond blew my mind again. You're right. It's imitating war and hunting. No shit. Yeah. Jose Gonzalez, bodybuilding is kind of odd too. Men rating other men's bodies. You think so? A little bit odd. Those freaking weird dudes up there, like all greased up and bronze, just like doing their little poses. Yeah, it's a little bit weird. Guys obsessed with their bodies a little bit too much. Because it's not necessarily functional strength. And they're at such a low body fat that they got to feel like shit, you know what I mean? Yeah, war. See, the reason I came up with the war simulation thing is I read that the NFL was created after World War II when young men had nothing to do. They came back from the war and they had like nothing to do really. And so they basically they created the NFL, which is, if you look down on top, it's like two armies clashing together. It's just a perfect war simulation. Sarah Sapien, my dog beside my name is a husky mix. Do you think he's cute? Definitely. There's a lot of huskies on here. Hero's got a husky too. It's funny. Yeah, your dog is really cute. He looks like, I can't tell. Like a husky lab or something, or Kitty Cat says, "Do you hunt?" I don't formally hunt. I unfortunately was not raised to be a hunter by my family or anything. My grandpa hunted. He hunted pheasant and quail and bird and stuff like that. But unfortunately, he got too old before I could go hunting with him. But I used to go like shoot shotguns out on his. He had a little farmhouse for a while, and I used to go shoot guns and stuff. But and I've done some freelance hunting with some buddies of mine on some like property out in Iowa, and we just like shot squirrels and stuff like that, but never any like big game. But I go rat hunting with my dogs. I actually go to the field and these guys like hunt rats in the ground. It's pretty interesting. Joe Lunchbucket, do you play chess? Yeah, I do play chess. I love chess. I haven't played in a while. I don't really know that many people that play anymore, but I do enjoy chess quite a bit, man. Fun game. I used to love playing really long games of chess, like hours. Growing pains, a little bit weird, aka gay, basically. Hero Damon, definitely. Y'all see Bobby's perspective. He found Jesus and gave up bodybuilding, right? Yeah, it is totally vanity. Growing pains, I might want to get a Doberman or a Weimaraner German Shorthair. That sounds like a Doberman's. That's a badass dog, dude. I've actually kind of wanted a Doberman because they're so intimidating looking, man. Like a Doberman to me is like the most intimidating looking dog I've ever seen in my life. Dobermans are frigging gnarly. Next to like a Mastiff or something, or like a Dogo, like a, you know. Jason Smith, you can learn to hunt. It's never too late. You're damn right, man. Damn right about that. Kitty Cat, do you play that keyboard much? Not as much as I should, no. But I used to play, I used to mess around quite a bit on it. It's not hooked up. It only runs through USB. I gotta run it through my computer. I gotta plug it in with the cord too, but I should play some more. Hero Damon says having a